Hi guys, my name is Bartosz Migas and I'm going to accomplish the 7 Summits Challenge, which means I will climb the highest mountain on every continent. I am a 36 years old normal guy. I've been married for 11 years, I have 3 kids and a full-time job in an IT company as a privacy protection expert, personal data protection, compliance with GDPR and stuff like that. I have been working from home since 2020 and most of my time I'm sitting in front of my computer, actually in my bedroom. I'm not a sportsman who has been training all his life, but an average guy with a full-time job raising kids. Okay, but why mountains? Where did this crazy idea come from? Raising 3 kids and working in a fast-changing and challenging job in the new digital technologies area, especially during the AI revolution, costs a lot of energy, both physically and mentally. A demanding job combined with the burden of household responsibilities and raising 3 kids can give you a hard time, trust me. For some time I felt that it was costing me more and more energy, which I had no way of refilling. And I was beginning to feel exhausted. With constant lack of energy, I have started to paying for all of it with my mental and physical health, causing harm to myself. And then the mountains appeared. Although as a child I would sometimes go hiking in the mountains with my parents, as an adult I choose completely different travel locations. My interest in the world of antiquity led me to historical locations and a family with young kids to the white beaches of the Polish coast. A few months ago, however, I took a weekend trip with friends to the mountains of Beskid Żywiecki. 2 days filled with hiking, fresh air, beautiful views and the silence, away from the problems and noise of a city life. During the hike, all senses were focused on the next step. Not to lose the trail, not to stumble, to climb one more hill before resting. For 2 days, I was focused only on the present moment, the next path, the next step. Although I returned a little bit tired physically, I rested mentally as I had not been able to do in a very long time. I fell in love with mountain hiking. Maybe not at first sight, but with the adult love that person locked up in the city in front of the computer can love. Mountains, however, had been in my thoughts for a long time. I listened to a podcast full of stories about mountain expeditions, climbing the highest mountains, the toughest walls, about terrifying accidents and dramatic rescue operations. I thought to myself that it would be great to someday taste such emotions, to climb a really high and demanding mountain. But I quickly answered to myself that it was too late for me to have such dreams. I don't have the stamina, I don't have mountain experience, I have a full-time engaging job and 3 kids. Maybe if I had started 15 or at least 10 years ago, it might have worked. My own thoughts convinced me that this way is already closed for me. Then I came across an interview with Polish alpinist Piotr Krzyżowski, who was the first man in history to reach the summit of Lhotse and Mount Everest in one expedition, 48 hours apart, without the use of additional oxygen and the support of Sherpas. This was undoubtedly an extraordinary achievement at the age of the human capabilities. But more importantly for my story, Peter is not a professional athlete who has devoted his entire life to training, but has a normal, average, everyday life, a full-time job as a lawyer, working in the court, and a family, wife and kids. However, he is consistent and well-organized, and regular, thoughtful training and planning allows him to further pursue his passion. Peter is also a little bit older than me, and he started climbing high mountains being already a 30-plus-year-old guy. In many ways, he impressed me. With such a demanding daily life, which I understand 100%, because professionally and personally we are in more or less a similar situation, he is still able to organize his time and strength for training and expeditions. He proved by his example that this is possible. Then I listened to a few interviews with him and I thought I can also organize and motivate myself to achieve my own goals and passions. Dreams of a high mountains suddenly became possible in my mind, requiring great effort, perfect organization and strong motivation, of course, but possible. That is when I decided that I would prove to myself and others that at the age of 36, it is possible to start mountain adventures, that you can believe in fulfilling your own dreams, in realizing your passion, while continuing to be as successful in your career and fulfilled in your family life, raising kids. I want to visit the places I had heard about and take part in the expeditions I had dreamed of. I decided to become an alpinist and reach all the highest peaks of each continent, known as the 7 summits. In doing so, I don't want to take shortcuts. I want to acquire the necessary skills and experience beforehand, before each step. I give myself 14 years until my 50 to complete the entire project. I don't have many assets on my side, that's for sure. I'm not in the perfect shape, I don't have the mountain experience or the necessary skills, I don't have the right equipment, I don't have a huge budget or a lot of free time. And what's more, I've had a lifelong fear of heights, and even on the 4th floor on the balcony I've already felt uncomfortable, to say the least. But I have strong motivation, life experience, and consistency in achieving goals, as well as organizational skills gained from work and family life. So I have no choice but to start from the very beginning. I am out of shape, so I have to train, and I have to train very hard. I will prepare my training plan and make sure it will become my daily routine. I will get up earlier or go to bed later in order to build up my physical capabilities. I don't have the right skills, so I have started to take my first steps in climbing, but I'm also going to expand my knowledge through training in winter mountain hiking, alpine climbing, rock climbing, and other training in equipment handling and medical knowledge. I have no mountain experience, so I will hike the mountains regularly, starting with the lowest and the closest mountains in Poland, gradually gaining experience on bigger and more challenging trails. I will also regularly expose myself to heights to control my anxiety so that it doesn't get in the way of my goals. To my new passion, I also want to add my existing experience in video content creation. I have a small YouTube channel about pseudoscience. I also produce a podcast debunking UFOs, ancient aliens, and this kind of stuff. And I will be running a video blog documenting my entire journey from my first steps, my first workouts, my first hikes to the highest mountains in the world. I want to document how I train, how I get motivated. I want to record expeditions to the places I visit and share the skills I gain. I want to share every little success and progress and record every failure for myself as a memory of the way I traveled, and for my kids as a source of inspiration in their own lives. But I don't want this channel to be just a personal video blog. After all, my passion was born thanks to the beautiful Polish mountains and the long and glorious tradition of Polish mountaineering. After all, Poles have made their mark in the history of world alpinism. For example, the legendary ice warriors who have made the first winter ascents of many 8,000ers. I would also like to tell you stories which are well known to millions of Poles, passionate about the different kinds of mountaineering, to share this beautiful tradition. Together, we will visit different Polish mountains range, reach the most interesting summits and finish exciting roads. I'm gonna tell you the stories about the outstanding Polish alpinists of the past and those living today, about the greatest expeditions and international achievements, but also about the local traditions or mountaineering organizations. If you would like to join me on this journey and follow my progress in this storyline, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and Instagram profile, where I will be posting my content. No matter how many people find this content interesting, I will keep hiking, climbing, and telling stories. There is a saying which goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So be it. Let's see what happens. Bye guys, I will catch you later.